Hey guys, we're here in the garage today and doing some winter mods on the old Red Dragon here. My 2014 Camaro 1LE. One of the things we got to do, end of the year last year I started getting some clutch slip. And then I've done a burnout and really slipped it. So we've got a new clutch here. And there's not a whole lot on the internet about it. I found a little bit, but I'm kind of interested to try this out. This is a Tilton clutch. Tilton Racing. And we're going to open it up here and see what's in the box. I done got all the packing stuff out. They actually did a pretty good job of packing it. But this thing was about $2,006 plus tax from Summit Racing. I went ahead and weighed it in the box without all the packing and stuff, of course. And just like it sits right there, it was 51.2 pounds. So I'm kind of interested to see how that compares to the factory clutch and the two SS's. Is it lighter, heavier? And also we're going to measure the clutch diameter. With anytime you've got centrifugal force going, the further the weight out is, the more it robs it. It takes more power to spin it up. The smaller end, toward the center, it's going to rev quicker. But the downside is, under lug, you lose that kind of weight to help pull you along. And this does have stage 4 cam in it from Tilton Racing. And I've done all this myself. So let's get this box opened up here and show you what's in this thing. All right, so first thing we got here is we actually have the clutch itself. It comes banded together. It had a piece of plastic over it. I took it off as well. But here's one of the things I love about this company. Right there, made in the USA. It's hard to find good stuff made in the USA anymore. Much stuff. Everything's been subletted. But when we look at this clutch for first time, we notice that it's not a stamped steel type basket on it here. This is actually, I don't know if it's, we call it billet, but it's actually like a preformed piece of aluminum, I'd assume here, with steel insert maybe in it. Good looking unit right there. Everything about it, fit, finish. What you will notice on this clutch, I did go with an unsprung solid hub and the Cerametallic pads on it. This is rated for up to 1,250 foot-pounds of torque. Now, 1,250 foot-pounds of torque, that's an awful lot, and we plan on doing quite a bit with this. But I also want to do some road coursing, autocross, drag racing, a little bit of everything. So I wanted a clutch that was going to hold up. I did not want a weak unit. I will get more chatter out of this. More transmission noise will be transferred through. All that stuff. That's. Hopefully we'll do a video of us driving it once it's done. Initial impressions and all that kind of stuff to see how it turns out. But this clutch is supposed to have the clutch feel of like I think an LS9 Corvette. It should have that same feel as what they're saying with this setup. So this already comes banded together, turned everything which way it needs to be. It's just set up. It needs to go in just like this. So we'll lay it over here to the side, and we've got a set of instructions, of course, that come with it. A sticker, which mine come broken. It happens. And here is the flywheel. Now, I haven't got I've started pulling the transmission. I'm missing a socket. I gotta go up to my dad's shop to get a socket. But I've noticed first thing when I look at this, it is a little smaller than what I would think maybe where the wear ring should be. So that's one of the reasons I'm thinking this clutch may be a little smaller than the factory one. And I've got I had a tape measure here so I could measure the distance across this. But oh, there it is, right behind y'all, excuse me. So across this wear pattern, is 9 and almost 10 inches. 9 and 15/16 roughly. Clutch is 9 3/4. 9 3/4 and 9 15/16. So again, this is a good looking unit here. I would assume this is made in USA too. It does not say made in USA on it, but I think a lot of their thing is that they're a USA company made in the USA. They make a bunch of clutches for Indy cars and all kinds of different things. But with that, and this is something I really like that Tilton does, some of the other ones don't. They include the slave cylinder throwout bearing. This was included with this kit. I didn't have to buy it extra. It's supposed to already be preset. There's a pin right here you pull, and you can turn this unit to make it closer or longer or closer to the clutch springs or further. So this comes preset unit from the factory from Tilton. Comes with braided stainless steel lines and the hardware necessary to hook it up to your snap clip things and a bleeder hose line there. So that's real nice. They include all that. And another thing I really like about Tilton is the fact that we have the bolts here. And supposedly they say it right there on top, these are ARP bolts. These are bolts for the flywheel to attach to the crank, as well as the bolts for the clutch basket to bolt to the flywheel. ARP, they include cards in each one of the little things inside that tells you the torque specs for that bolt, which is that's that little piece of little extra that Tilton has done here to ensure that their product is liked and received by the customers. You don't have to go look up, go grab out the pocket computer and go look up and see what the torque specs are. It's right there. It's right there for you. It comes with the grease. This goes on the spline, so the first time you put it on, you want to use a grease that's not going to affect the clamping force as well as the tool. So this is everything we've got. We're going to get this installed this weekend. I actually played hooky from work today. And when you have, my wife's been sick, and when you know it today, I kind of feel down now that I took off work at Figures. But anyway, we're going to get this knocked out, and we'll get back with you. We'll show you what the factory one weighs, and we'll measure it. Remember, this one was 51.2 pounds in the box. Let's say 51. Hopefully we lose some weight, get that in smaller, pick up a few horsepower just by changing the clutch and all that clamping force, because this is going to have all the grabs. So we'll see you back here in just a minute. Alrighty, so we just finished the install, and I've done the test drive and all that. We've got all that. I got all that recorded for you so you can see that. But I want to go ahead at this point in the video and show you the weight differential between my new clutch and the factory one. This is the factory clutch. I've got all the bolts and everything, just like I weighed the other one because it was a complete unit. I've got my wife's scale out here, so I've got a piece of cardboard on it so she don't kill me when I scratch it. We're going to throw this thing on here. The other one weighed 51 pounds, I believe it was. And that was a twin disc, Cerametallic, you know, and it was smaller too. So let's take a look at this one. First thing I'm going to do, I am going to measure it. Let me grab my measuring tape. And just like before, I can't find it because I've stuck it somewhere right in front of me. So the outside, the area that the disc is going to run on this is going to be right at the 11 7/16 mark. And the disc, I measured the disc too. It's pretty much exactly the same as this. This one though, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to look here close. And look at all that melting. This ain't just discoloration. This is melted. You can run your finger and catch on that. So I mean, I've really fried this sucker right here. It was done. Same way on the press plate, the clutch, chunks and stuff missing out of it. So it was a done deal. That nitrous does a number on them. And the factory ones, golly. So the factory one, oh, Let's not forget this because we weighed that with the other one. Told me to get off. 58.4 pounds. So we're at 58 pounds versus 51. So we went to a two disc clutch that's smaller and lighter and lost weight. So that's awesome. That is weight that's on your flywheel that's sprung. So that frees up horsepower. Now, is it going to be enough horsepower to notice? I told my wife when we was driving immediately when I pulled out and after it warmed up and I kind of done some revs. I said, I think it revs just a hair faster. Whether it does or not, it's wishful thinking. I mean, come on, it's not going to be enough that's going to matter. I mean, it may be a horsepower or two at the rear wheels, if that. But after driving it and everything, I'll let you see right after this and follow the drive. We ended up taking it down to Mexico and doing a little rip and come back, so we'll get plenty of time to break in. But these Cerametallics, they should be almost ready to go out of the box. I don't think there's a whole lot of break-in for those, like a regular organic type clutch. So all in all, very happy with my purchase. Very happy with the performance. The clutch, I thought it was going to be real grabby and not be able to slip it so you take off smooth. I'm going to have to do a little better at learning it. It's still got points, but it's going to be learnable. I am going to put a stop on it too, that way I don't go all the way to the floor. When I'm driving it here in a minute, you'll see, because of where it releases it, then I need a clutch stop, so I'm not over pressing, because I don't want to press too much on the back of the on the back of the clutch, because that transfers into my thrust bearings that's on my crank. So we don't want all that excess force. So I'm gonna put a clutch stop on it, that way I don't have to go more than when I have to, and that's gonna help me with my takeoff too, because it's always gonna be the same. I'm gonna be right there close to where it's gonna start grabbing. So enjoy the ride down to Mexico, and I'll see you here in a minute. All right, boys and girls, we got her back together. We got the ST-246 by Tilton inside of it. Not started it yet. We're gonna do the initial start here on camera with you. We have done bled the clutch sleeve and all that stuff has done been bled. We used the Motul 5.1 fluid, which I already used in my brakes anyway. Went ahead and changed the rear end oil. Used the Lucas synthetic in there, and we changed the transmission fluid because we had it out, and went back with the D4 AT4, yeah, by Redline, and the engine oil and stuff. Put a good Wix filter on it and some good oil. I went with the 1030 oil this time. I want to go a little thicker. I'm not running cats or anything like that. So we're going to do initial startup. We're going to let it warm up. I'm going to let you see the initial startup, but while it's warming up, we're going to check for leaks and all that kind of stuff, since I had so much stuff apart. And then you're going to go for a ride. You're going to get the initial impressions of what I think from pulling out of the garage on. So we'll do the startup, and then we'll get back to you once it's warmed up. Give her a little bit of time to warm up just a little bit, and we're going to take off. I'm kind of nervous to see how this is gonna be. The feel on the clutch is definitely different. It's a little stiffer than what it was factory. Pushed in, it shifts through all the gears. So I know this is going to be grabby. So let's see how it goes. Not as bad as I thought. Not for what kind of clutch this is. It is grabby. I got brand new tires on the front too. I put some more, I think it was 285, 35, 555 G2s from Nitto's. Yeah, it's definitely different. Let's get out here on the road so we can take a trip down to Mexico, do a launch. It ain't bad at all. Broke in and do a few miles here, and we'll come back and we'll do a launch and see how it does once we get down to Mexico. So see you right back. Well, we've officially made it down here to Mexico, down here in Tijuana. Long drive from Kentucky. Got some miles on the old clutch now. It's a Cerametallic, so I'm not too worried about getting it broke in anyway. I'm gonna stop here and let this cop go by us. No, it ain't really a cop. But we're gonna do a pretty good hard pull here. She's hooking pretty good. Pretty good. You over it bouncing around?
A little bit.
Yep. So the clutch, I've started getting used to it. It's really got a unique feel to it. It's not as long a travel as what it was before, and it releases really good. It shifts really good. I'm really glad I bought this. This thing's rated up to like a ton, like 1200, I can't remember, I told you the specs earlier, but like 1250 foot-pounds of torque or something. That was me missing the gear. But I'm really pleased with this. Everything about it. I know I'm gonna get more and more used to it as I drive it. It gets broken a little better, but it's Cerametallic. It's pretty much broken from the factory. You can pretty much take these things and straight out and race them. But once it gets warmed up, it's cold out right now, and I'm surprised I hooked as good as I did, Volvo. But I'm very pleased with it. I think if you're in the market for a clutch, this is one that you may want to consider. It's 1250 foot-pounds of torque. It's rated to hold. It's a Cerametallic. It's smaller and lighter and everything's supposed to be. The specs will be, I haven't weighed the other clutch, but it would be put in there. So yeah, if you're looking for a clutch, there you go. Thanks for watching.